Ready? Yeah.
Hey, this is a new podcast. Who dis?
Habba habba.
It's the Ultimate United Givers of Themes, the podcast. Let's talk about a movie and the song that goes in the movie.
The podcast for the Ultimate United Givers of Themes, and we're also known as Tuugof. We're gonna talk about the movies that we rewrote all the themes for. We're watching some movies and complaining about things, cause we want our themes in these damn movies. But we don't think Hollywood has the damn guts to deal with how real our themes are. We don't think the themes from all these movies, cause the most are good enough and we could do a better job. So we rewrote the themes and now they're better themes. And now this is the podcast where you listen to us talk about our themes. Okay, here we go. Let's podcast.
Let's podcast. Here we go.
Let's podcast.
This is Raising Arizona, the song. It's the theme for the movie Raising Arizona. And this one is a little bit, it's a nice vibe. It's laid back. It's a little spacey. You might as well take some fucking mescaline. Just sit back and groove, baby. Groove. And listen to this theme. I feel like I know the plot of the movie now. You're in Arizona, you're way past the salad days, your wife's going nuts because she can't get a baby made. So you want to do crimes, but you don't want to make her mad. You're stealing a baby because she's really sad. You gotta rinse it. We'll just... It's the best part when he writes fart right on the wall.
That part is pretty good.
So that's Raising Arizona. If you're watching Raising Arizona tonight, I can tell that your night is going to be tight.
And if you're watching it tonight, we did just tell you what happens in the movie. So, spoiler alert.
That's what happens.
Previous spoiler alerts, people should start giving them after the spoiler.
Yeah.
Like it's not so much a warning as it's like, oh, an alarm went off because there was just a spoiler. Like,
Yeah.
I set off the spoiler alert.
Dang. Now you know what you didn't want to know.
I wonder if H.I. McDonough does actually want to do crimes. You know, most people do crime because they're like, I don't know what to do. I have to do this crime.
Well, doesn't he spend a lot of time in the movie just driving by? Thinking about doing crimes.
Yeah, like he's sort of like, I kind of want to do more crime.
Hey,
it's like when Danny Ocean's sitting in a bank. It's like, I want to rob this bank.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you find what you are good at in life, that creates this feeling inside the human body. Like, I've studied some psychology.
Yeah. Moneyball has to manage baseball.
Yeah, there's things that if you want to do a thing, there's no way to stop yourself from wanting to do it. That's psychology.
That's actually, yeah.
There's literally no way.
Look it up in a psychology book, and there you have your answer. Case closed.
And I'm not saying it's right to want to do bad things. I'm just saying there's no way to stop it.
I guess it could be interpreted. I wasn't thinking that, but that would be all over BuzzFeed tomorrow. Tuugof podcast says it's all right to do bad things.
Hey, why don't you double bolt those bleachers? Yeah, I didn't feel like it. That was the first episode of The Simpsons that and granted, there's amazing things in the episode. I think that's the Tremopoline episode. But
Sure.
that was that whole Brad Goodman storyline or whatever.
Oh, I love the Brad Goodman.
I don't like it.
I love
and I don't know why, because it's something that's inside me that I feel, and there's no way to stop me from feeling that way.
That's true. There is no way. You do what he does what he feels like. I don't know. I love Albert Brooks.
Yeah,
I
do
any
too.
Of his My least favorite A. Brooks Simpsons role, probably Jacques, just because that's
that was
season
him?
1.
Yeah.
But it's like, but my favorite is now I can't remember his name.
And from the movie?
No, the workout
Hank
guy.
Scorpio.
Right? No, the workout Jack.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
Jack
when he tells the story and he says like, Bart, I want to tell you a story. It's about a little boy that tried and failed. Anyway, that's the whole story. I guess I shouldn't call a sentence a story. Anyway, it's you.
Yeah. Albert Brooks. You know what I didn't know? We're always discovering things that I did not know. I did not know he was Super Dave's brother. Super Dave Osborne, fucking.
In real life?
Yeah, they were brothers. Who played on fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Huh? I did not realize
they were straight up brothers.
Right. Because their real last name, Albert Brooks's birth name,
is Dave.
I'm not. I'm like
Dave?
I'm like 97% sure of this. I believe his legal name is Albert Einstein.
Sick twist, bro.
I think his name is actually Albert Einstein.
That is a sick twist.
Also,
brah.
Michael Douglas's real name. No, Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas. True story. He changed it to Keaton because there already was a Michael Douglas.
So therefore, Michael Douglas's real name must be Kirk Douglas.
Yes.
And Kirk Douglas's real name,
Beau Bridges.
Yep. And Beau Bridges took that name because he really liked Kirk Douglas.
Yeah. So
So then,
it's a time is a flat circle.
his original name was Beau Off Ramps.
Beau Framps.
Beau Framps. And he had his brother Jeff Framps. and then Jeff Ramps. And Jeff Ramps was already a very accomplished surf guitar rock. He played rock in the surf style in bands. and everyone knew Jeff Ramps. And then all of a sudden, Beau was like, I got news for you. My last name is now Beau Bridges because I'm naming myself after Kirk Douglas. And Jeff Ramps had to change his name to Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Because he really liked Jeff Loeb.
Right. Jeff Loeb?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big
comic book / television writer
of the baby Jeff Loeb, who was most definitely they might be close to the same age.
He was probably producing what's that show?
Lost.
Did he work on? Was Heroes a Jeff Loeb thing?
Oh yeah, because Jeff Loeb I think produced Lost in the first couple seasons before it got really great. Then he went to Heroes, and then he was like, everything I do sucks.
I feel like Lost and Heroes and Fringe are sort of like their own TV genre, and Heroes is kind of like, don't watch that one.
I remember getting in like pretty bad arguments with people about the fact that they liked Heroes.
Heroes was the Pearl Jam to Lost's Nirvana.
Yeah,
of the scene at the time.
But Heroes didn't last long enough to eventually become respected as people. But I
only watched the first episode, and I was like, skip show.
Yeah, I was forced against my will to watch one episode of it once. In Vegas, at the convention, and a bunch of people were hanging out. They're like, "Well, we gotta go. I'll watch."
Go watch Heroes.
And I was like, "Well, I'll go because there's booze there because I was a big time boozer at the time." And you know what? Mission accomplished. I drank that booze.
Oh man, I had so many nights drinking booze and not watching Heroes.
It's funny. I've been trying to. Greg's been texting me about. Like cocktail recipes and stuff, and like even though I don't drink anymore, I don't give a I don't give a fuck talking about it. It's fine. Like I'm not one of those people that's like,
they're interesting recipes.
Yeah. But the funny thing was it's been like I haven't bartended since pandemic started, and I was like, and I couldn't I used to know every drink.
Yeah.
And I just
had it
and
in there.
it's probably still in there somewhere, but I could not remember I couldn't remember stuff and this is not a simple drink, but it's a drink that everyone should know, and it's a can't even remember
Beer.
I can't
Beer.
even remember the name of it. It's called beer. Yeah. No, fuck.
Really simple recipe.
I
You
can't
open
even
up a
remember
beer.
the name of it. A Vieux Carré. A Vieux Carré is a classic like Prohibition era cocktail. And I could not tell you. I mean, I think brandy's in it, and I think Benedictine's
You know what's
in
funny
it.
is that I was gonna say like, yeah, when you're not using it, I was gonna say it's like muscle memory, but it's just memory.
Yeah,
it's
but
not muscle memory.
The brain's the most important muscle, man.
Brain is
It's
pretty
not a
important muscle.
but it's not a muscle, right?
So getting back to Raising Arizona, my favorite line from the movie probably is, "So I guess we're gonna be calling him Glenn Jr."
Set to Pop is a classic.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many classics.
To this day, whenever something is set to pop, I inform somebody like, "Honey, we're set to pop here." You know?
I like to do
And
the
that
gag.
could-
Yeah.
although I
Yeah.
don't do it in bed, I think that would be
Well, yeah, because
that
then
might
you
take.
actually are set to pop.
Yeah,
you know.
and that would take you out of the moment for me a little
Sure,
bit, and then I
sure,
probably wouldn't be
sure.
set to pop anymore.
Sure,
if
yeah,
you know what
gotta
I'm
be-
saying.
Boy, do I.
Talking about throwing my lower back out.
Yeah, all of that pops. Ooh. That's I recently started having that happen. It's no good. So I keep thinking of Raising Arizona,
Yeah,
but we're watching Hail
Hail
Caesar,
Caesar.
so it makes me want to talk about Hail Caesar. Save that for another time.
Yeah, but I suffice to say, I'm gonna say, unless maybe we watched Blood Simple with Dad, that Raising Arizona was probably our first Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, I never saw Blood Simple until later.
I have a feeling it was watched in the house because we definitely had it on tape. But that was always one of those movies where I was just like, that's an adult movie, which is weird in our house because we were allowed to watch anything. But it just didn't appeal to me.
And that's
and
the
in
only
fact-
one I never feel like revisiting.
I've watched it a couple times, and
It's
you know,
real good.
but
Can't go wrong with
it's
Emmett Walsh.
yeah, who's still man? He speaking of
Yeah,
that,
he was in Knives Out.
yeah, and he was in that Right on Gemstones show.
Yeah, he seems like a good fit for that.
He played
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, he
Bells,
played John
bells.
Gott. But yeah, man, Raising Arizona was just that might have been one of the first like really good films that I loved because it was so silly. You know, I was 10 when it came out, so it was like so silly, and
Yeah,
it was like
it's-
goofy. What? It was goofy.
Goofy.
Yeah, it was real goofy. Like it's a goofball movie. Nicolas Cage, come on.
Yeah, it's
come on,
it's
roll of a lifetime.
I would
Holly
call
Hunter,
it.
come on, roll of a lifetime.
I would say it fits in the category of screwball comedy.
Oh,
You know, it's
yeah.
real screwball.
Oh man, and because there's so many babies in it that you think of people screwing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
screwball means.
Yeah.
It's got.
Oh man,
it's got
unpainted Huffines,
hayseeds,
unpainted
unpainted
Huffines rules.
Huffines. Yeah. And we were just
They got
talking about
Yodas and shits
we were just
on
talking
him.
about the Star Wars show, this new Star Wars that has Yodas and shit in it.
Oh yeah, Raising and Barry Sonnenfeld, very I would call him a pretty. Very stylistic, but pretty crappy filmmaker. You know,
Yeah,
on
I mean, he's got some wins, but yeah.
but sure knows how to shoot a movie
Sure
because
does.
he shot
Sure
the fuck
does.
out of this movie, and this was a couple movies before Roger Deakins became their go-to cinematog.
Yeah, I mean these days, if it's not
Rougher.
Deakins, I think Deakins usually dekes him up.
Or is it who's it?
Bruno de Bonnell?
Yeah.
Shoot, I figure like because Bruno de Bonnell shot Macbeth, and I figured it was like Deakins was like, "I'm doing Dune, mate." Like,
Yeah.
no, wait, he didn't do Dune. I'm sorry. Grieg Fraser did Dune.
Yeah,
Fuck, what was Deakins' big picture this year?
He was like, "I'm doing me podcast, mate."
Yeah, he is doing. he does do that. He does do that.
Excuse me, mate.
Oh man,
My God,
Deakins sure dekes these things up good.
I mean, and a deacon, some of you might not know, but a deacon is also like a fancy word for a priest. So it just goes to show you how good he is.
It's also the name of this 50s street gang from York, PA.
And it's also the name of Bill and Ted's little brother.
Yeah, Deacon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Gorch was a member of the Deacons.
yeah, I think so. But
Almighty Deacon.
Raising Arizona is this movie about, like, Nicolas Cage is this guy, and he's like, I better go to jail for a while. That seems like a thing to do. And because it's fate. And when he goes to jail, you know, you got to get your picture taken when you go to jail so they can put it in the jail yearbook. You know, so you remember, like, who's in jail.
Yeah, like the jail
Like,
directory.
how else are you going to remember who's in jail? You got to
Right.
take their picture. Come on. Like, what are you going to do? Count them?
And he's in jail with John Goodman from Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
And Flat Top from Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
That's Flat Top,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, you know what meme is good? You know the scene in the movie Raising Arizona, where where he's in his jail cell and him and his partner talking about
what they would eat when there wasn't any crawdad.
And then the answer was he ate sand. But then you meme it and you put in Anakin saying how he hates sand.
I made that meme.
Yeah,
I made that meme.
That was you?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Oh,
I mean, somebody
famous.
else probably did too.
Oh no! You're famous.
I
man.
photoshopped
Spoiler
that
alert:
and
Cody's
sent it
famous.
to a couple guys. It has Anakin sitting in the top bunk saying, "I hate sand." Or no, yeah, and the other and Nicolas Cage being like, "You hate sand."
Oof.
And Nick Cage is, a real good physical gag he does in this movie.
What's that?
I do this almost anytime I look at a catalog, just as a joke. Like what he does with his, I believe it's a Playboy, when he flips through a couple pages and puts it down, but then he walks away and goes, "Oh!" He goes back and has to look at it more.
Oh, so good. And when he puts his fists together to bash John Goodman, and he burns him on the ceiling.
Oh yeah,
that's something like those of you who are watching on the TV, you can see
I got a low ceiling.
Yeah, we got a low ceiling here, but I have carpet on the ceiling, so I don't or blankets on the ceiling. So whenever I'm smashing people,
steals a baby.
Worst that'll happen is I'll get my hands caught in the light, and then John Goodman will punch me in the stomach, and
that would probably lead to a whole bunch of more new gags.
Yeah. Okay then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Good catchphrase that came out of this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Parker, that mother's government do take a bite.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Dip Tat. There's lots of good ones.
Yeah. That Buford's a Sly one.
Deck Boy.
Yeah, yeah.
I can never remember that actor's name, but I love that guy. He was on Tracy Ullman.
He was on Tracy Ullman. He was one of the kids' dads on Freaks from Geeks.
Right. You know what? I'm surprised. He's probably been on the show, but I'm surprised he wasn't, just because of the Ullman connection, that he wasn't a Simpson.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's been on the show.
I'm sure he's been on, but I feel like it's like, shouldn't this guy just be doing all the shit that Hank Azaria also does? We could have twice as many good bits.
There's a great he plays for some reason it's weird. I never watched The Sopranos until in the last couple of years, but now it's just a show, and it's just a show I put on like for comfort. It's just
a cultural touchstone.
Yeah. But I don't know. During pandemic, I've had it on a lot. But he's also in The Sopranos as Uncle Junior's cancer doctor, and there's a great. This has got to be a meme, but do you remember that Furio guy from? Where he goes up to him because they're trying to pressure him because he decides he doesn't want to work on the uncle anymore because of the mob connections or something, or it's not worth it or something.
That probably makes him furious.
And Furio's like, "There's a bee on your hat," and then he whams the guy's hat and it goes 1,000 miles and it lands on Hank Azaria's head. And then he's like, "What's the matter, you?" Yeah. These are fun times and goofy times.
It's
and,
fun. It's
all
funny
kinds of
thinking.
goofs.
I don't think Hank Azaria's been in a Coen picture, has he?
Nah.
When he seems like a guy who should be. Actually, same goes for who were we just talking about? Somebody else.
Emmett Walsh.
Yeah. He should be in more of them.
Yeah.
They tend to these days. You kind of know you're gonna see Steve Root. You're like
Francie McDormand, probably. Francie McDormand.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking the character actors. Like you used to be. You'd see, if they're making a movie, you're gonna see John Polito in it. Okay.
Yeah.
But not anymore. He passed away.
Johnny Polito. He went in
many years after making Blank Man.
Yeah, he went to that big potato in the sky.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about him more in
really
an
big.
upcoming episode because we'll be talking about The Man Who Ain't There, and John Polito is very good in that picture.
He is very good in that picture, man, and he's got a head that you could you could do your makeup in front of.
Yeah. He put his head in the Shino Bolo for sure.
Homer, did you put your head in the Shino Bolo again? Doesn't he say no?
Yeah, he said yeah.
Oh man. Straight up lying to people when they know that you're lying. That's a funny thing to do. You got to do it to a real dick. Yeah. They have to be a dick, and they have to deserve it. But
I didn't do it.
I just. Oh man. Oh, I put my foot in the box.
Why don't we just throw out these lines? We interrupt this podcast about watching a movie to bring you the Jeff and Wally Wambler We Watched a Movie podcast.
Goof around the clock with the best guys on the block, bringing you goofs from noon to night. It's
Boing.
the Wamblers.
So today's movie, it's called Let's Go to Arizona, and it's
Yeah.
about stealing a baby.
Raisins.
I like raisins.
Yeah.
They're like other stuff, but they're squished.
All you gotta do is put an apple in the sun and you have a raisin later.
So this is a movie where there's this guy who likes doing crimes, and then he sees this girl, and he's like, "I like you," and she's like, "Okay, well, I want a baby," and he's like, "Okay, well, these guys have too much babies, so let's get them." And we already have songs for babies because we're the goof rock band called the Wamblers.
We'll just write a song for a baby. Fuck it.
Hey, baby, you need to goof too. What do you think?
I think babies like goofing.
It's cool. It's cool.
I mean, when you listen to a baby talk, they're just like talking like an idiot, so better steal them and teach them how to talk right.
Sometimes I like to go to a baby and it's like, okay, I can talk that way too. Wamble, glant, pant,
Dunka, you
surfing, durfing, and the baby's like, surfing, durfing, and I'm like, okay, baby, let's play some rock and roll music, and then we do.
Then you ask it to write a song, and it just looks at you like an idiot. And you're like, you're not in the Wamblers yet.
Like, hey, if I wanted another Hondo the Weirdo, I'd just hire his brother Mordo.
I mean, that guy's so skinny he can fit through a window.
And he doesn't know anything and doesn't say anything, and I think he might be dead, or if not, maybe somebody's gonna hurt him.
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
He never talks.
I don't even know what he means when he says he doesn't talk. And one time he was trying to tell me about a movie he saw, and I was like, I watched a movie, and it's about stealing a baby, and it's not about a guy doing math for baseball, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And he says movies are about doing math and playing balls.
But I don't understand. Can you explain this part of the movie at me? Because, like, he only took one baby.
Okay. So he had to take a baby, and then they did art, because then there's a scene where these two dirty guys get out of a hole, and they're all covered in sauce, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the bank and take all the money, and we need the baby if we're gonna do that, idiot.
But that's why. Why did he take one baby though?
If you take two, then you have doubles. And doubles is okay, but
there was like at least 100 babies there, so like triples is best.
Yeah, they probably should have taken at least
you're
3 or
safe.
4 more babies.
You know you're safe then, because you can just leave 2 at home that are normal looking and then fuck the other one all up.
So if any of you guys wanna send your baby to the show and have them raised by the Wamblers, and I guess we'll be calling them Wamblers Jr. now.
And just send like a cage, like whatever a cage you put them in at home, just send them.
Yeah,
in
you
that.
need to send that along with it. We don't have one of those.
Because we don't want them, like, being able to go around. Like, what the fuck do you think we are?
Like, what do you
a bunch
think
of
this is, pal?
go-arounders? You're an idiot for thinking that, parent.
Well, something's happening. It's happening to my hands again.
Ow.
We gotta stop doing that.
Honestly, like, I did not. In my defense, how am I supposed to know that sticking my foot in there would do the same thing that sticking my finger in there would do?
That is
There's
a good
no
point,
way.
but
There's no way.
I mean, I'm
what am I,
starting to feel like-
Nostradamus? Who am I, Kreskin?
What am I, the shell answer man?
What am I, the know-it-all?
I'm just saying, like, if this keeps happening several more times, we might maybe want to think about not having the boxes in the room.
Okay.
If this keeps happening, I'm
Next-
willing to wait it out.
I'm going to make you a promise. Next time I remember to do it, I'll totally get rid of the boxes. Whenever I remember to do it, consider it done.
That's all I ask. And because I don't know about the long-term effects of getting zapped by a box. the short-term effects are pretty rough. So,
what were we even? I can't even
we were
remember.
talking about Raising Arizona. It's a
No, I
film
just
by
mean right now. I feel there was something important that was just said a minute ago, but there's no way for either of us to remember because of the getting zapped. So there was.
You were going to do
something. You know what? No, we have to go record today. We have to go record.
Right,
we're going to the studio.
Right. We
Yeah.
have to play instruments in the studio and record them.
Yeah. So we better we better get going, I guess, and go do that. So this has been the Tuugof podcast, and you guys have been a great audience tonight.
If you feel like rolling up some pot leaves in some paper like a cigarette and then smoking it, you go ahead and do that. It's decriminalized.
Yeah.
At least here.
And there's no shame. There's no stigma to that. This has been this.
There's a little bit of stinkma.
Yeah,
It does stink a little bit sometimes.
stinkma. Yeah. But what were we talking about? I'm confused. I'm
I think we're
pretty
talking about some
slow.
recent studies on stigma.
Yeah. So and Raising Arizona is a great movie, and Raising Arizona, the song, is a great theme. So it's genuinely good. So you should listen to it. It's on EP6. It's and EP6 is on Apple Music and Deezer and I Love Radio, and even that place that has that guy that everyone hates. So you can check it out there too, and follow us on Instagram and YouTube and
I think it's called Instagram. But
Instagram. Sorry, Sorry, I got that zapping. It's got me all wacky dacky.
Yeah, me too. And I've had a cold recently, so I would pronounce ours as bees.
That makes sense. So go to Tuugof.com. That's TUUGOF.com for all of your themes needs. I should probably update Tuugof.com. Haven't been there in several months. I assume it's still up.
Hey, follow the Instagram. That's the main thing.
We would appreciate that. So anyway, you guys have a great one, and we'll see you next week to talk about A Serious Man, probably my favorite Coen Brothers film currently.
Wonderful.
Not gonna say it's their best, but we'll get into that next week. Easy peasy, everybody.